My dear people of Southern Cameroons and Bazonia, I bring you greetings. Today is the 12th day of the month of September in the year of our Lord 2018. I bring you revolutionary greetings. Today, we are going to address a lot of issues, but these issues that we are going to address are issues that we need to handle with a lot of care because they hold the potential to either advance or to stall our struggle. Let me begin by stating emphatically and categorically that the state of our revolution is good. I want to insist and point out here that those who are actually serving as the engine of this revolution are not yet discouraged. They will not be discouraged. They are rather motivated by what they see on ground zero. They are motivated by the difficulties our people are facing by day and by night, and are determined to make sure that these difficulties will be a thing of the past the soonest possible. My dear brothers and sisters, there's been a lot of noise in the past few days. There's been a lot of confusion. There's been a lot of bad blood flying here and there and all of those things. But we must also note that these things are characteristics of a struggle like this one. There are moments which are high moments. There are moments which are low moments. There are a number of times that we have faced this kind of situations, and a good lot of us said the struggle was over. No, this struggle cannot be over as long as God, the Almighty, who initiated this struggle, remains the commander in chief and is seated on the front seat for this struggle. Nothing will torpedo it. No matter all the efforts of both internal and external forces to crumble it, it will not crumble. We will, at the end of this revolution, shout free, free, free at last. Yes, because freedom is our portion. That is why God initiated this revolution. He willed it that our set time to be free. After over 57 years, 57 years of slavery and servitude, it is time for us to walk into freedom. My dear brothers and sisters, the times may be difficult. The tidings may look not so good. The bad blood may be taking a good lot of our times and bringing in distraction. But take note, those who are supposed to be doing the things that have to be done to move this revolution forward, technically are still at work. No one has gone to sleep. I want to assure all our people that it never gets better unless it has gone worse. If it doesn't get really worse, don't expect it to be better. I have trust and confidence in all of those who are the helm of this revolution to understand that all this confusion is because we are seeking a common ground. And that common ground, we must get it. That common ground, we must attain it because that is who we are. We are a kind of people who know how to quarrel, who know how to argue, but who also know how to make peace in the supreme interest of the people. I remain very confident. I remain very optimistic that we will overcome the current bad blood, that we will continue to steer the course of our revolution to the right direction. There are times that doomsayers will revel, will take advantage of the least cracks that they see to deepen them into very huge wounds and gulfs, and expecting that we shall all crumble therein. I believe that they must go back to the drawing board and understand that as a people, we are determined to always hold our leaders accountable. It is a healthy exercise for our people to always want to know at every turn point what exactly their leaders are doing with the mandate they have either given them or with the resources they have placed at their disposal. It is a healthy exercise. The only thing that is not healthy is that anytime questions are asked on matters of accountability, we leave the message and attack the messenger. We will overcome even this difficulty. There is no difficulty that we shall not crush as we continue our forward march to walk into freedom and settle in our capital city, Boya, and thank God and hail his name and sing our beautiful anthem and say, thank you, Jesus Christ. We have overcome. Because the enemy will have a few days to revel. I have seen the publications. I have seen the audios on social media. I have seen the videos. I had the opportunity to watch even some people spew bad blood. But the bad news for all of these doomsayers is that this situation is going to be fixed. Yes, it has to be fixed and it must be fixed. That is the only thing that we have to do. I shall come back to this sometimes before the end of this communication. Let me bring out this very important piece of information. There are tracts and there are some calls going around in Southern Cameroons and Bazonia on the territory of Ground Zero, asking Nigerian businessmen and nationals resident on our territory to run back home, to go back home, because the times are actually very difficult. I want to say this is an unfortunate situation. No one should go out there to pass out such a message. And I want to assure our peace-loving and cooperative Nigerian community in Southern Cameroons that you are welcome on our territory to be home. True, the situation of insecurity is escalating by the days. You will be the unique judge of the situation on the ground and do as much as possible to stay safe. Simply play by the rules. When they say shut down, shut down. When they say open, open. And continue to do your business in a peaceful atmosphere. The people of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, or call it Southern Cameroons if you care, and the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria are close brothers and sisters. And this relationship will only get stronger. It will never get weaker because of this ongoing crisis. This relationship will only get stronger. Some misguided authorities in Nigeria gave themselves up to the Republic du Cameroon's manipulations and betrayed the leaders of our revolution. But that is only an isolated incident, and that cannot define the relationship henceforth between the people of the Southern Cameroons and the peace-loving people too of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You are welcome to continue to do your business in total serenity on our territory. You will never be a target. Our people don't target anybody. Our people are rather doing everything to defend and protect the people so they can live in peace, concord, and in harmony, away from the evil machinations of the terrorist soldiers from La République du Cameroun. The next item that I want to bring up here is that information has reached us that La République du Cameroun is terrorizing people in hospitals and left and right because they have plans to, on the 7th of October, make sure all ballot boxes will be stationed but at hospital establishments where they will at gunpoint force both patients and hospital staff alike to vote, whether they like it or not. I'm bringing this up to let the international community know that hospital establishments are being gradually transformed by La République du Cameroun against international regulations into combat grounds. They are breaking into hospitals, holding nurses at gunpoint, asking for patients to be smoked out of the hospitals and given them to go and kill. This is something the world needs to know. This is something we all need to tweet about. We all need to create awareness all over the world for people to know this kind of evil mentality of a people who have never understood the meaning of societal decorum. I want to get back to something that was discussed this week and quickly kept aside because people think that they should, for whatsoever reason I don't know, trust anybody talking on behalf of the government of La République du Cameroun. I have it from on very good authority from internal security sources in La République du Cameroun that until this moment, the instruction dished out to them concerning the suspension of the internet from the from the 5th of October to the 12th of October remains in force. They have not received any information officially to the contrary, as purported by the Minister of Posts and Telecommunications of La République du Cameroon, Minette Libom-Likeng. Therefore, our people, don't relent in making sure you download your VPN. Don't relent in making sure you really begin to develop alternative means of being able to communicate on those days. It is true that all they'll be struggling to do will be to hide to the rest of the world the masquerade that they're planning to organize around their elections. It definitely should not concern us. We should even have been discussing about it if they were not planning to make forceful incursions on our territory. Therefore, be informed. Internet is going to be disconnected. Absolutely. The period is between the 5th and the 12th of October. So take measures. Take measures. Don't be fooled by that lady who calls herself Minister of Posts and Telecommunications of La République du Cameroon. She has lied many times before. She has lied now, and she will lie even again and again and again. Again, I've also received intelligence from Ground Zero. I received it first from a comrade, and I took time off to investigate, and I got confirmation that La République du Cameroon plans to declare a state of emergency in all of Southern Cameroons between the 26th of September right up to the 5th of October, and only ease off towards the 7th of October because they will say it will not going to be possible to carry out elections within the framework of a state of emergency. So take note that there is a state of emergency that is going to be declared by La République du Cameroon. I'm sure we've already seen that by anticipation. The governor, the colonial governor of the Northern Zone, has even already declared a state of emergency in a quasi manner by decreeing curfews between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. every day until further notice. These are a package of bad measures that government is planning to bring, and you must already have seen moving on social medias on social media a decision or some instructions signed by the Secretary General at the Presidency of the Republic of La République du Cameroon, Mr. Ngongo, and director to Mr. Tanga Ponji, the slave board, who is in charge of their Ministry of Territorial Administration, asking him to ensure the reinstallation. When they say reinstallation, it's not appointment. The reinstallation, that is these DOs that have been installed to their duties before and were working and have escaped because those local government areas have become conquered territories of the people of Ambazonia, should be reinstated, that they should take them back and install them afresh as if they had just been appointed. What that message means is they are saying declare war on the positions already won by the people of Southern Cameroons and Ambazonia. Make sure you reconquer them and reinstate the administration there, because if that does not happen, it is really obvious there will be no elections in those areas. This is a clear call. This is a clear indication that the challenges before us are enormous. And at this point in time, we cannot afford not to put our heads together the fastest possible to overcome these challenges. Yes, I know that we are facing difficulties right now, but trust me, I know who we are. We are still going to be able to put aside egos, to put aside personal grudges, to put aside every other thing that hinges on self, to be able to face this situation head on. And now, I like to say this, and it's on a softer note. I want to really thank and show gratitude and appreciation to the scores of Southern Cameroonians and Ambazonians who have been calling me over the past 3-4 days to kind of, should I say, to console me, to say, please, brother, take it easy, don't worry, all of these things we have heard about, your troubles, and a good lot of them have been offering to help me pay back the purported debt of $200 that I collected, hinging to be taken on my own share of the booty from the Washington collection meant for Ground Zero. I want to thank them sincerely for that show of concern towards a brother considered to be in difficulties. But my dear people of Ambazonia, let me be very clear here. John Ba Akuro never borrowed $200 to be paid back from the consortium's allocation, because that was never the arrangement. John Ba Akuro and the consortium prepared an important correspondence within the framework of diplomacy, which is one of the areas of collaboration in this collaborative framework. This letter was supposed to be dispatched to an African capital. It is an important letter hinging on the resolutions that we took in Washington. And when it was done, to mail this letter, I needed a sum of $188. And so I made the request to the leaders. I need $188 to do this thing. You know, I'm not working yet in Washington, in the United States of America. If I were working, I'll bankroll it. But right now, I need money to mail this correspondence for the struggle. To mail this correspondence for the struggle. And I was promised to be given the money. And eventually, someone sent me the sum of $200, which was used to send that mail to the African capital. And I received the proof of service of that mail, along with the receipt, which I sent back to the same person to indicate that the mission has been sealed. Great was my surprise to come here, someone say John Ba Akuro came down to borrow $200. That isn't what I should really bother myself talking so much about. I just took this opportunity to clarify this quickly for those who still may be doubting exactly what this was for. But in the days ahead, when that correspondence will be declassified, you will all see for yourselves exactly what John Bakuro took $200 to do with. I never took money from my personal pockets. I want to congratulate once more the battery of family and friends who have been taking care of me ever since I left La République du Cameroun, and ever since La République du Cameroun stopped paying me a salary, because I received my last salary in January of 2017. The Ministry of Finance is there, CRTV is there for anybody who can verify. But these family and friends have been generous to me. They took charge of almost everything I did, even within the framework of this struggle. I traveled to the United States of America while I was in Nigeria 2 times for this struggle. And each of those times, neither SCACUF, nor SCAPAC, nor the governing council, nor any instance of this struggle paid my flight. But I came to the United States specifically for the purpose of working for the struggle. This is to tell you to what extent I've never been interested in funds contributed by the people for the activities of this struggle, because I already have a lot of people who know exactly what I can bring to as contribution, just like many other people. And so they have always stood up for me and bankrolled everything I do. I want to congratulate those who took the chance this time to call me and to say, no, I offer to pay. Some of them have actually sent me money, which in turn I have immediately shipped to Ground Zero to satisfy Ground Zero needs in areas where money was needed. Those who are concerned know it. This is the spirit that we have to work with. I don't grudge anyone who has insulted me, who has told me terrible things, because they heard that I never even bothered to find out what it was all about. I want to specifically thank the cheerleader of AG, Catherine Fomango. She had very excellent words towards my person. I thank her so much for those beautiful words. At least there is one message she has sent, and the message was decoded on Ground Zero. A lot of people in Ground Zero who still work for the government of La République du Cameroun, who have been contemplating too, that they too will have to abandon. Just like, it happened to some of us, to come join the revolution. They asked me, Mr. Akuro, so when we too will leave our jobs and we'll have no earnings, we'll have nothing to live on, and come to join you people in the revolution and become poor, this is how we are going to be treated? And I told them, oh, nah, don't bother. From the abundance of the hearts of those who speak comes exactly who they are. So I think that you shouldn't define our people because of, some uninteresting words you consider might have come out of the lips of one of them. As a people, the people of Southern Cameroons and Bazonia are generous. They are responsible. They are fraternal. And therefore, we must continue to highlight the good qualities in us and ignore the bad ones. If we want to pay attention only to the bad ones, we all have a lot of ugly sides, all of us. We're not going to prosecute this revolution right to the end, right to its logical end. So I want to assure our people that Despite the plans, despite the evil minds of those who feel they can rock this boat, the state of our revolution is strong. The state of our revolution is good. We will overcome our misunderstandings. We will overcome everything that is likely to bar us from getting to where we have to get to. It is a singular duty for each and every one of us to stand up at every given moment after you have been thoroughly insulted and continue to serve the people, because that is why we can pride ourselves to say we are standing in positions where we can provide some degree of leadership. Let us continue to trust in our revolution. Let us continue to lay our trust in God Almighty, who is sitting on the front seat to pilot this revolution. The tides may be very strong. The challenges may seem so difficult, so hard for us to overcome. But trust me, we will overcome. God is with us.